You want to,
Okay.
well, I figured this is Amanda, you want to welcome everybody. This is your,
You know what I'm doing. It's been a day, guys. Okay, so thank you guys for coming. I'm really excited for this. Kristen has, been so great and saying she would come and talk about content because she's really great about making video content and talking about messaging. Where I really have a different strategy, and I said I wanted to make sure everybody has something that works for them, and I wanted to make sure that I was giving you guys what you needed. Because I know when I am, not giving, I'm weak, right? That's my weakness, content. So I'm so excited for Kristen to share. She has a little presentation. She's going to talk about it for 15, 20 minutes. And then we're going to open it up to questions. So you guys can ask questions and, talk about where you're struggling and what you guys need, and hopefully we can help you guys out. I'll let you go ahead and take over.
sounds great. Well, like Amanda, thank you so much for the introduction, and I hope to see you all again. I'm super excited just to be a guest speaker. And so when Amanda asked me to join and kind of do like a little presentation, with it being like the new year, I really kind of so we know that how you market and your strategy on Instagram is going to be very different than Facebook, even though they're both social platforms, right? You want to be able to just Instagram is a different beast, just like TikTok is completely different. They each have different algorithms and how they push out. I do love me some Instagram. I am starting to get into Facebook. And so I'm going to focus on how you should be doing content on Instagram in 2025. So let me share my screen. Let me present. All right. Let me see, where can I? Do y'all see my full screen, or do you see the little heads and all that stuff? You see the heads? I'm just going to kind of shrink them. How's that? Is that better? With that said, I cannot see y'all anymore. I'm just staring at my screen. So I would encourage you that if when I'm talking and I'm talking about the Instagram strategy, if you have a question, drop it in the chat. At the end of this presentation, obviously, Amanda, we're going to go back and we're going to answer the questions that you have. Again, I just want to help you simplify your Instagram strategy, what's working now, and what you need to leave behind. All right, so let's get hyped. These, we finally know how the Reels algorithm works and why it does. In fact, no hate on anything. Basically, the algorithm wants you to capture someone's attention so they stay on the app. It doesn't matter if you're on TikTok or if you're on Facebook, that's kind of all across the board the same. Instagram wants someone to stay on the app and stay. So when you create high performing reels so at the end of this presentation, hopefully you will be able to create some high performing reels based on some of the tips that I am going to speak. Now, with that said, I want you to think about going viral is not necessarily exactly what you need to be focusing on. And I'm going to go a little bit more into that. And then I'm just going to give you like some immediate start, things that you can start to do to increase your reach and hopefully to get the people to get past that 3-second mark. If you are solely on Instagram, you know that they have added a new feature. If you go underneath your insights, it is now going to tell you basically what your average of how long somebody is going has watched your reel. And that's also going to be a really good insight to evaluate, because if you have a reel and the reach might be good, but people were only staying on it 28%, then that might not be something that you actually want to recreate. And I hope that that makes sense. Um, Maybe the song pushed it out, people opened it, and then they closed it. So you want to make sure that you're looking at that metric. And that is brand new within like the past weeks. So, like I said, the algorithm's sole purpose is to show you, the user, what they want to see based on signals that you send. So, content getting engagement gets pushed out more than content that gets crickets, because Instagram wants you, they want people to stay on the app. So you want your reach to pop off. You need to create reels that your people want to engage with. You want to make sure that likes, you're getting likes, comments, saves, and shares. Likes are going to be really, really important for people that follow you. So Instagram looks at people that follow you and people that don't follow you. And you really want to get those followers to like, and you want those non-followers to save and share it. I mean, obviously you want everyone to like, comment, save, and share, but those metrics mean more to your followers versus non-followers. And just being sure that the algorithm can figure out what it is about, so it knows who to push it out to, right? Those are those SEO words. Those are your hashtag strategies, that type of stuff. Oh, let me go back. Okay, so I really want to touch base on going viral and why that should not be your main focus. Think about if you open up a restaurant. You're a restaurant owner and you have a awesome night, an opening night, and you have so many people packed in there, and then you don't have enough space, and you're just all over the place, and people are just like all the things. But then you never have another night like that again. So that's how you can think about going viral, or having a strategy that gets you constant views, constant likes, saves, and shares. So, really making sure that you're speaking to your target audience, to your avatar through your outreach content is so much more important than trying to go viral. All right, let's move on. All right, so old 2024 and in the past, text heavy captions, in depth, like where you have your caption and you use every single space. um I would not go heavy all the time on heavy captions. That is not what you want to do in 2025. You want to give people information. You want to have quick wins. You want to tell them what to do, information. And I'm going to go more into that. So just think that every once in a while you can have a heavy caption, but don't let that be every single time, because people will keep scrolling. They're not going to read. They're not going to get past that 3 seconds, and they're just going to scroll past you. So now people are opening that app they're not opening for the long captions. It's tired, they get overwhelmed, and they scroll past. They want to be entertained. They want quick fixes, cool hacks, and given bite-sized tips that we can implement right away. For example, insert this one thing into your bio. Change, to improve your reach, change this CTA. I'm totally trying to think off the cuff here. Um, quick wins, things that people can implement that they will want to come back to your content. All right. So, what does this mean for us as we create content for our products and services? We have to go back to the basics and we have to pay attention to what is working now. Don't worry, I've done the research and digging for you because this is the type of stuff I love. I have gone to kind of like a branch of all niches and gotten some reels, and I'm going to share with you. All right. So, this is my strategy. These are, I call them content pillars. Some people can call them, they're cornerstones, but this is my 4-H method. I will be completely honest. I did not create the 4-H method. It was another Instagram coach, and it really resonated with me. And so I have taken on these content pillars because it makes sense to me. Some people don't want to be put into a box of what content pillars are. You have to figure out what works for you. But I want to share because this is how I have the examples for you. All right. So, heard. These are the types of reels that make your people feel seen, heard, understood, and validated. They provide a sense of belonging and also often stir up feelings the viewers desire, right? Every single piece of content really should be stirring some type of emotion, regardless if it's like a desire, a want, if fear of missing out, right? If it's humor, all of those types of things. So think of heard as inspirational content that shares your brand's overall message and motto and the emotion that you want to invoke. Vulnerable stories, right? We don't want to cry all the time, nor do you have to share an inspiration, but you can share those vulnerable stories, right? This can be your founder story, why you started, why you show up every single day to do whatever your business is. If you're not in the make money online niche, that's totally fine. What if you're in the health and wellness? Like, what made you stop doing processed foods? Was it because you were tired of your gut hurting every single day, your stomach churning after every, if you had dairy or, gas or whatever, right? Um, it's just your person can feel heard in your content, can make them understand, maybe be in your shoes. These can be like little pep talks or gentle reminders that talk directly to them and stir up those feelings of belonging and wanting to experience your brand at all. And so, why this pillar works, this is shareable and savable, and it can help them bond to you, right? I did a post the other day, right? People buy from people that they can resonate with. Either that's with your story or something that you shared, maybe you shared a book or anything like that. So here is an example. Right? It says, I don't know who needs to hear this, but stressing over ice cream is probably less healthy than just eating one delicious bowl of ice cream. Right? Because stress, if I know Tavia she could totally speak to this, right? But cortisol spikes and stress can wreak havoc more on the body than actually just eating the ice cream.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Darn it. Okay, hold on. Let me share my presentation again. Present. Sorry about that. Right? But that's going to be right. Someone's going to go, oh my gosh, yes, And so they're really going to resonate. They're probably going to share that. So a lot of times there's two different types of people that are going to share your content. Someone that's never heard that before, and I'll probably talk on this a little bit more, and they're going to share that to their friends like, "Oh my gosh, did you see this?" And then there's also going to be the people that actually they do know that, but they're going to share it because they're going to go, "Oh my gosh, can you believe she's sharing this?" So don't be afraid to share the basic stuff. So here are some more examples. Oh, Lordy. Hold on, that was awfully loud. Anyways, poolside, I was hoping that it would open back up to, let's see if I can get it. Yeah, that didn't work. Okay. This says when you get tired of seeing all the big homes with $1 million budgets and things you can't afford. And then she kind of goes on. But this is it speaks to, the moms or the women that live in, small homes who are feeling overwhelmed, frustrated, and embarrassed about their smaller spaces, right? A lot of times people say that they don't want to start an online business because they don't have the perfect home, right? Yeah, I really like that one. But they can feel seen and heard, right? I'm going to go ahead and click on this one while we have it open. And this says, I don't know who needs to hear this, but take your lunch break, your evenings, your weekends, your holidays, and your PTO. You agreed to a job in exchange for pay and benefits. You did not sign up to sell your soul in every moment of your personal time, right? So somebody that's maybe feeling overworked, they're feeling guilty for taking the day off, whatever. These are just examples. But right, someone that feels like that is going to feel very heard. Okay, let's go back. All right. I'm probably going way over. All right, helpful. These are types of reels that highlight a hack, bite-sized tip tutorials and more. Think education. It's just a better way of saying education. But, but gone are the days of like 5 steps or 3 ways. So you want to keep it simple. So what do you post? Product suggestions. What are you buying? Right? Anything on Amazon. I bought this off of Amazon and you need to have it. Oh, my dog is stop. Cool ideas that you have. People want to be told what to buy. They want to be told what to do. They want quick how-tos. Think about like leadership or belief shifting perspectives. Like you need to have this mindset to have an online business. That's just a little catchier than this one mindset changed everything for me. Just different ways. So you can take that kind of like simple, kind of like one thing you want to change, put it in a ChatGPT and say, can you make this into a simple educational by telling them directly what to do? Talk to the camera, video, sharing a tip that's easily to be implemented. And so, why this pillar works? Because we want instant gratification and we want it now. Plus, we're highlighting your client's desires and showing them that you can help them, right? Quick win. I had a client that did this one thing and she got 30,000 views, or she, was able to um, pump out content in 5 minutes, or quick things that they can do, like use this ChatGPT prompt if you want to cut your content creating in half. Use this, you have to have this, or this is the one thing that you need, or just think like direct, short and to the point. Let's see if it'll, what 7.4 million gets you in an old home? I don't know why I put that in there. Sometimes it's like, ah. All right. Largest Christmas store in New York, only 30 minutes from Raleigh. I wonder if I have this out of order. No way. Okay. Oh, maybe I do. That's okay. We're just gonna move on. We're just gonna move on. All right, humor. This is going to be huge. These type of reels are super relatable and simple to make people laugh. And trust me, you can sell your products every single time you post, even in the funny ones. These are going to be those cap cut trends, memes, lip syncing trends. Think shared experiences that your audience, you could go into ChatGPT and ask what are 10 relatable funny things that busy moms encounter on a daily basis? And you could totally come up with some things. Random funny thoughts. Describe relatable situations for your target audience, for your market. Describe relatable situations for your own industry. So just think of like funny things of, if you're an entrepreneur, what was one funny thing that happened to you today? Or, anything like comes to mind. And if you don't think you're funny, then trust me, the music's funny, the memes are funny, but we need to be making our people laugh, right? It's that emotion. They're going to relate to you like, "Oh my God, that happened to me too." It could just be simple. Like you went to a coffee shop to get some work done and you ended up spilling your coffee everywhere or and showing like a funny picture, and maybe that's not funny, but it could be. And then these are highly shareable, engaging because viewers see themselves in your reel. They're great for bonding with your audience, right? Because you can always say, "Has this ever happened to you?" Or "Tell me something funny that happened to you." They're heard and they connect to you. So have fun with this one for sure. Oh, let's see. What funny things did I put here? Oh yeah.
Boring. Boring. Boring.
That's a good one. I don't know if you could read it, but it just said like when my husband starts telling me something or whatever. And then this next one says, oh, I do like this one. And if you're in the health and wellness niche, you need to keep this one. It says when you're hungry, but all the food in the house needs to be cooked. Can be kind of funny. All right, I'm going to keep going. Happenings. This is something that we skip over. And really, this is stuff that really you can get personal and very detail oriented in your stories. So we know that Instagram stories are 100% valuable and probably the most important feature of Instagram. This is what happenings show what's happening in the world. Like everybody right now should take their camera out and do a quick video screen of this Zoom and just tell people in your stories. I was on a masterclass last night and I was learning, strategies on Instagram. This is B-roll that you need to be doing. What are you doing? Introduce yourself, meet your team, events that you're attending, right? You could just simply say, I attended, a master class that my mentor put on. Personal life updates. This is when you can, sprinkle in your life, tell that people want to know what you're doing. They always want to know the behind the scenes, right? How are you building a business? How are you actually building a business and being a mom? How are you building a business and working full time? Are you, obviously you don't want to show a picture of you running into the bathroom, but that could be kind of funny. Like where you're filming yourself walking into the bathroom and you could say, "Here I am doing 10 minutes of work. If you need
Kristen,
me, I'll be in the bathroom." I mean,
Kristen,
huh?
remind me again, B-roll, what does that exactly stand for? Do you remember?
That's
I can't remember.
where
Trying to figure out
there's
what.
you're not talking. It's basically kind
Yeah.
of it could be you like typing on the computer. It could be like you walking with your coffee.
Yeah.
You're not talking directly to your audience. The
Got it.
music really is doing, yeah. Behind the scenes, what a day in the life looks like. This could be another really good place to do like your founder story, why you started. Tell people why you show up every day. Tell people what this opportunity has done for you, but also what it can do for them, right? You have the opportunity to change somebody's life, but they're not going to know that unless you tell them and how it can be. And we're not talking income claims. You want to showcase more of the lifestyle because I guarantee you income claims are out the door. They are cracking more down on from the FTC, especially on Facebook. You have to be super, super, super careful of what you post. As far as, but you can post all day. You went to go get your nails done because, you help somebody get started, or anytime you sell somebody, welcome them to the product in your stories, right? Welcome Judy to the Code Collective or to DWA or whatever it is you're selling, like, to your wellness group or um, never underestimate the power of taking people behind the scenes. People are nosy. They want to know what you're doing. And this is the exact way to show them what you're eating, what you're drinking, working, what you know, because that will establish you as an expert. This needs to be heavy, heavy, heavy in your stories. So here's just some examples, right? 10 years ago, I randomly bought a pink ice cream bike with no plan. 9 years ago, I decided to join a local farmer's market. People laughed at me and told me not to spend too much money on this little project. People still to this day ask if I'm still doing that little bike thing, right? And she has, I think, an amazing business. So,
Can you repeat what you said when you said what will establish us as the expert?
oh, yeah. I'm gonna that was my okay. Oh my God, all the people. Okay, happenings will show like sharing behind the scenes, telling people what you're doing, how you're building what you are telling them to build will establish yourself as an expert. Happenings, the helpful, that's going to establish yourself as an expert. Telling them what they can do right now to have a quick win, right? Let's say you
Okay.
learn one thing tonight, tell people in your stories, this is what I'm going to be implementing over the next 7 days. I'm going to tell you how it works. You try it with me, do it with me. Let's do it together, right? Those types of things.
So even if you're like brand new, which, I'm not brand new,
Yeah.
but, even if you're brand new, I think that's something. It's like, I know when I started out, like it's been about 6 months ago or whatever, like I was a newbie. I didn't feel like I was an expert and I felt very much like an imposter.
Yeah.
And when you're starting out, so you're starting out, you just do your course, then you dive right in, you start posting, and you're like, we're not really, you want to come across like you have authority and you know what you're doing, but it's hard, too. So I remember Amanda saying this one time too, and it was like, and maybe it was you, and like, well, take other people's, successes too. And then I've also heard don't do that. So what would you say around that? Like when you're kind of new and still trying to establish that?
I think it's really important, right? The biggest thing that you can realize is, especially if we are selling a course, right? If you're in the MMR or the digital, whatever product, if it's an affiliate link, all that type of stuff, us, we don't have to prove that the course works because the course speaks for itself. There are
True.
people making thousands to millions of dollars with the
Yeah.
course
Okay.
You just have to show them that it's doing that for other people.
Got
And
it.
you can just simply say, like, that's my vision board. This is what I'm working towards because I bought this.
Yeah.
Like, we know, like, my main offer is DWA. We know that DWA works because there are true beginners that are buying it, implementing it, and making good money. Even
Got it.
if you buy like an affiliate, that's where like the testimonials, social proof. But just always remember that you are one step ahead of somebody else, regardless wherever they are in their journey. You can always teach somebody something, right? Because you're like, if you bought DWA 3 months ago, you're 3 months ahead of the person that bought today, and you still can teach them something.
Mm.
Did I answer that question okay? Was
Yeah.
that a good?
Yeah. No, that's helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah, for sure.
But social proof is so important. It doesn't always have to be your testimonial. It
Hmm.
can be, and that's why they always say you should be, sharing other people's experiences, because there's thousands of people that are, doing it and being successful. It's all in how you position it, and all in how you speak to people in your outreach content. So there's two types, right? Our outreach content, when you think of it, it is our carousels, our reels, and our posts and our stories. Your carousels, specifically for Instagram, your carousels, all that type of stuff are going to bring people into your life, right? Hopefully, the next thing you can do is you can get them into your stories where you can really nurture and have those people come back because they want to know what you're posting today. This is something that I am learning, and I'm actually testing it right now. I'll be honest, it's not something that I learned within a course. It was from a mentor of mine. She said that there is two types of selling. There's hard sell, right? There's that buy this, here's the link. Really telling them, driving them to an offer. And then there's soft selling, which is just behind the scenes, telling them, like, today in my stories, I really did behind the scenes. Yeah. I listened to a masterclass today. I've been doing a lot of things to build my own community. I'm doing, Canvas slides, all that type of stuff. It's showing them what I'm doing and how I'm building a business, but I didn't drive them to any offer. So, because people, they need to be sold to, but they don't necessarily always want to be sold to. So they need the hard and the soft to not have a bad, like, you don't want them to leave your stories with a bad taste in their mouth. So I'm testing where I do a hard, like every other day, right? So a hard sell yesterday, a soft sell today. And then I think it will hopefully establish myself that, you know, I know what I'm doing. I'm showing them what I'm doing, but I'm also sharing what I'm doing. And then tomorrow I'm going to direct you to, and really here's the other thing. People want to know, they want the FOMO, they want all those types of things, but you can't always give them a direct sell, right? You want to give them something like a freebie, get them on your email list where you can nurture them in that email list, because someone's most likely going to grab a free guide from you or a Google Doc, or so they can have that quick win. And then you can nurture them in an incubator group, or this is where Facebook comes into. You take them from Instagram to a Facebook group, a free group where you bring it all together and you you let them simmer, cook, until they're ready to buy from you. Because they actually say that the statistic now is that somebody needs, it used to be 7 touches before they bought. Now it's like 20, 25. So that means that you need to be, but you can, in your stories, you should be selling, but it's a soft and a hard, it's a good balance. It's a good balance. Sorry, I totally went off on a tangent.
Can you, I didn't think you went off on a tangent. I thought that was
Okay.
awesome. So thank you. Can you share like an example of like what you would use for like your hard and your soft selling?
Yeah, so a hard sell would be where you showcase, like, right? So you tell people you're in digital marketing and you kind of talk about like what is digital marketing, and then you tell them why. So right when you're thinking of like story slides, and the very last story slide is access here, grab here, right? So you're driving them to a paid offer. And then a soft would be like you kind of talk about all that type of stuff, but you don't put a link. You do polls, you do market research, that type of stuff. You just don't direct them specifically with a link to a paid offer. Did that make
Makes
sense?
sense.
Okay.
Yeah. More subtle than versus in your face, this is where you need to go.
Right. Ask away. I'm here. Trending audio. Let's see. 3-minute reels are new to, right? With the whole thing with TikTok, and it went away for that day or 12 hours or whatever. Now they have established the 3-minute video. As much as it makes you uncomfortable, you should be trying specifically on Instagram to do one talking head reel a week. You should be shooting for at least 2 carousels a week. And the carousel is where you can swipe. The beauty of a carousel is when someone is swiping, right? And they're scrolling, swipe, swipe, and then they come to a carousel and they're like, "Oh," and they start swiping this way. That indicates to Instagram that they're interested in what you're putting out. And so if they only swipe twice, if you notice a couple of swipes later, scrolls or whatever, the third slide pops up on your feed for that carousel. And so you're like, okay, what else did they say? So carousels are really good for helpful, um, you know, those types of things. Also, talking reels. Oh, the other really big thing that is on the comeback, right? There for a long time, probably on all the platforms, you would want to say, you want to start digital marketing, but you don't know where to start. You want to change that you back to I and me. And so because people want to know what you did, right? You're telling them, I wanted to start digital marketing and I didn't know where to start. And here's what happens next or whatever, right? So you're flipping the you to the I because it's that you're telling them what they need to do. This is exactly what I did when I was stuck in my Facebook strategy. This is exactly what I did to change my eating habits, and I lost 13 pounds. You know, people want to know what you did to be successful. Or, that's really big. So change that you to I. Even when you're doing a POV, right? Point of view, change it back to I. That's really big. Sorry, I should have. I very went quickly through those slides. I was like, oh my God, I'm talking so much. I could literally probably talk to y'all all by.
I think you did great. One other thing that I wanted to bring up is I know Instagram right now is big on doing those test reels, right now, or is that not a thing?
It's supposed to be, but I've done two and both of mine, I ain't gonna lie, they have sucked. Beep. Yeah, I don't know.
What's a test reel? What's that? Educate me.
Yeah. So you can go to like you're doing a reel and you can I'll just act like I'm doing this. And down here, you're gonna it's called trial. Oh, and you can click trial. It won't go to your feed. It will be pushed out to non-followers, and it's supposed to tell you if it's going to be, if it will perform well. Obviously, the two that I did not perform well, so I have given up on the trial reels. I'll be honest. But it might be good to do like a test A, test B kind of thing, right? So do a trial of the same reel that you actually put on your feed and see if Instagram's right, you know.
And Tara, you had a question in there. It says, is the goal to link your post back to the DM? I forgot that was like really at the beginning.
Oh yeah, like back to digital marketing.
Oh, I thought you meant to like a direct message. So
Uh,
linking a post back to digital marketing, like whatever it is, you link it back to what you're doing, correct?
Whatever your product, your service, you know, you want to, at the end of the day, the biggest thing is you want to capture somebody's email. However, you capture the email, it doesn't matter, a freebie, you know, or information about your digital course that you're selling. I assume everybody on here is selling a course of some sort or a digital product. I will tell you, do not send somebody any information without capturing their email. Because if you send the link and they never get it, and then you try to reach out to them in the DMs again, and they give you ghost, you basically have lost. They've moved on to somebody else. And if you all want to know how to do that and you have Stand Store and all that type of stuff, I would be more than happy to do a tutorial on that. For sure. That is the one piece of advice, if you can take away from this whole thing. People have no problem giving away their email address if it is something that they want to know. Here's the other piece. Hold on. I'm on a thing. If you have to evaluate what your mindset is around selling. And if you have any type of negative feeling around selling, you have to reframe it because that is going to keep you stuck. You have to think that you have what you have, even if it's a digital product, you have the opportunity to change somebody's life if they choose to do whatever it is, like the problem that you are solving for that person. And that should feel really good. You have the ability to help somebody maybe make a car payment if they choose to do the skills and learn and do what you say that they need to do. If you have, you know, if your digital product or your niche is to help somebody with their hormone health, if you have a digital product that if they follow these steps, you know, they're going to sleep better. They're not going to have those cortisol spikes. They're going to be able to come into a situation and just breathe through like a stressful situation because they have your digital product. And when you can think about that, not only is that helping them, it's helping you. I mean, it's like an amazing cycle. The opportunity that every single person has to change somebody's life, regardless if it's with affiliate marketing, if it's with network marketing, or if it's with a digital product, if you have that like passion, like now I can't guarantee anything, right? Because we're not there to hold everybody's hand, but you have the ability to change their life if they just do it. So definitely anytime you are feeling stuck, anytime you are kind of like in a slump, journal on it. Ask yourself, what is my feeling around selling? Like, what's wrong? Like, why is this feeling ucky to me? Right? So, okay, that's another tangent.
No, I think you're doing great. Yeah. So Kim and Sarah. Okay, yes. Maybe next week I will do a training all on how to set up your freebies and capturing emails because that's so important. And I did not have my emails and all of my things set up properly for months. And it is the most important thing you can do. Like the most important thing you can do. You can set up, like for tonight, I was able to capture emails for the webinar. You can set it up on your website. Any type of freebie. And I think it was you and I that were talking like we should have some sort of freebie to capture emails every single day in our stories
Mhm.
or somewhere. Yeah,
Yep.
super important.
In your outreach content, every single day, you should be trying to capture a lead.
Yep.
Yep.
Sarah, I know you had asked earlier that she wanted to know if she should start a new Instagram. I'm against starting a new Instagram, but I don't know what your thoughts are.
You know, it can be so I think last year, 2024, they were telling you to start a new Instagram.
Yeah.
I saw something the other day and in some training, and where did um it said not to, that you can revive, how you can revive a dead account.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons why you don't necessarily always want to start a new account is because you're categorized completely different
Mm-hmm.
as a new account. Because Instagram or even a social media account, they want to figure out if you're a real person or not. So, and here's the other thing. When you start a new account, it has new beside you. And it brings the vultures, in my opinion. It brings the people that think that you're brand new and they're going to follow you. And there's this whole like, I know there's a whole strategy out there. I think it's like a guide. And I'm not knocking anybody's strategy of how it worked for them. But you have all these new people that will follow you because they think you're new and that they can sell to you. When in reality, you might actually know more than they do.
Right. Yeah. So true.
I would caution. I have people, right? And then you have all of these followers at first, and then you kind of, I mean, Tavia had started a new account not too long ago, and how did that go for you?
It actually helped.
Okay, right. So I mean, right,
Yeah.
it could go
Yeah.
twofold.
I'm at see, I started I think in November. Yeah, I'm at 2,300 organic. So in 2,300, 2,304
Yeah.
followers. And I started in I think November. So not too bad. But yeah, it did help me because my other one, I still have my other one up and I only have 159 followers. And I started that one like in July. Like it wasn't growing at all. It was crazy.
Okay.
So I did the next full disclosure, I did the next level
Oh, that's the
course.
one I was looking for. That's the
Yeah,
one I was
I
looking in my
did.
head.
I did.
That's
And
okay.
it was good. It's fine. Yeah, and so it did give me some good stuff, but you're absolutely right on everything you're saying. It puts you the new and like the vultures come like this, and that is completely true. My whole issue with it is that because they talk about in there, I don't know if I can say this even. whatever, I guess we can talk about anything, right?
Yeah.
Is they when you're new is like they teach you to follow other new accounts too. And I was like, well, why do I want, newbies? I don't know. So I don't think that really helped me, if I'm honest. Some other techniques helped. And the bottom line is what I feel like with growing on Instagram is like we have to be engaging. We have to be like supporting other people. And that's what I found the most productive. Like I do threads every single night and I might go in there and talk to someone and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to follow them, check them out. That's what I've been doing is growing that way, having genuine conversations and be like, hey, how are you doing? I don't sell to anyone. If they
Yep.
ask for something, I'll be like, hey, I have this, but I don't sell in there. I just go in there and it's like all conversations,
Yeah.
and I feel like that is the most important. I saw someone today on Thread say, I'm so sick and tired of people coming to my DMs and be like, let's share ideas.
Oh my God, please don't like that. Yeah, that's just, yeah. I am a firm believer that you need to nurture the people that follow you, and that is how you're going to show up
Oh my gosh.
more in their feed. Like, so people that doesn't mean sending cold messages, but you can go
Yeah.
into your stories and see who is watching your stories, and you can
Yeah.
genuinely go to
Yeah.
their story and watch it
Yes.
or comment on
Yes.
something.
Yes.
It just shows that you're a real person. And I will tell
Yeah.
you, the more that you engage and do that type of stuff, that it does show
Yeah.
Instagram that you are,
Right.
a real person. I think that really, if you could set a timer for like 10 to 12 minutes a
Yep.
day, I think
Yep.
that's good.
Yep.
You
That's what
need
I
to,
do at night, like 10
yeah,
minutes.
yeah. It's not something that you need to spend hours on.
No, not at all. And just
Like
be
I said, go
genuine.
to the bathroom.
Let's
No.
see.
If
Something
you
else.
need some quiet time and you're a mom, go to the bathroom. Shut
Oh
the
my
door.
God,
I
my
I
dogs
don't
Mine
call
even
come
me
to
get
the
the
quiet
bathroom
bathroom.
with
time
me.
then.
So I don't, yeah, mine follow me to the
Yeah, mine
bathroom.
used to.
So,
I mean, mine
Kids
are
and
older
dogs.
now, so
oh,
Kids
mine
and
are
dogs.
teeny.
Um,
yeah,
I was
for
gonna
sure.
say on Threads, if I have gained several followers on Instagram from
Yep.
interacting with people on Threads just in
Yes.
conversation, and
Yep.
I like was rapidly, and then I was like off Threads, and so now my followers have slowed down, but I was like quickly gaining people
Yeah.
on Instagram from Threads, so
Yeah.
that is a great place to go hang out, and you
It
can like
is.
search different topics and just
Yeah.
comment and
Yeah.
interact, and that's a great way to connect with people.
I have to constant. So I Instagram, and then I have moved to Facebook trying to. And so when I master Facebook, then I'll move to Threads. But I have chemo brain, and which is very similar. They kind of consider it sometimes to ADHD, and so I'm like, ooh. So I have to really
Squirrel.
watch. Yeah.
Squirrel brain. Oh, it is a lot. It is a lot. And
Yeah.
it's like I think was it last night? Night before I didn't get on it or whatever reason, it's like, but when I learned stuff on there too. I
Yeah.
feel it threads like people are sharing like I put a post out like what's the newest thing this week? Like, what's the hot buy or whatever. Not and I didn't even know there were certain things I didn't know. So I
Yeah.
learn a lot on it too. So I think if you haven't tapped in threads, try it for a fun, for a week or so, see what comes of it. But like you, Amanda, I got followers when I really engaged too.
Mhm.
And make good relationships. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Do we have any other questions about anything?
I think the thing for me, and I probably am just well, not probably, I am an overthinker when it
Mm.
comes to content, and I get into like this analysis paralysis and all of the above. And I'm like, okay, what can I post that's showing value? And I think that's just where I get hung up the most. Like, I know I can post video of my kids and, all those different things. I'm like, okay, what is valuable that I can share with my audience to draw them in? And I think that's where I get hung up the most.
So a value, like value is really hard, right? Value is a hard word. Telling your story is a hard word. So one thing you can just think of, like when you're thinking of like what you could post or something, like, what are you doing today for your business? Like, what do you have planned tomorrow to move your business forward? And that could just be like a quick tip or a share maybe in your story of like, what are you doing today that's going to move your business forward? Are you responding to DMs? Did you answering questions? Oh my gosh, you should put, um, anytime you see somebody in a group or a Facebook group or anything, if they ask a question, take that question and put it in your stories and answer it.
Mm.
Don't take the person's name. Just say,
Good idea.
I got asked this question yesterday. Hey, it's your social media. You got asked. I mean, you had the opportunity to answer it or not, right? That's how you can, and you can even do that in your reels. Most frequently asked I get this question all the time. And then answer it. Adding value just
I love that.
means, what's a good, it's that helpful. It's helpful is value is something that they can take away. What's a takeaway? It could even be like a mindset or a quote, or, I saw this yesterday. I don't know who needs to hear this. That can be a value. Right? Those gentle reminders. Um, I just want to let you know you're not alone, and then give like a quick something another. Or, I used to spend, 20 minutes washing my face until I switched to X, Y, and Z. That's almost like a soft sell because it's not like you necessarily have to direct them to something, or you could ask, you know, engagement is huge. Just know that you don't have to you can always sell, but you could ask them to drop a heart if they've ever felt like that. Or, what's one funny thing that happened to you today? Or it's engaging because you're still selling to them. You're selling them on your personality, on who you are, and if they want to work with you or not. I mean, being an entrepreneur is just like being a parent. Just think, I mean, good gosh, think of a scenario that your kid did to you yesterday. And that's how, you could even do like a new series, like being an entrepreneur is the same as being a mom, a series one or edition one or whatever, and say something funny that happened and relate it back to your business. Everything is relatable. You just have to find, and if you have problems, I guarantee you go into ChatGPT and you say, I want to make this relatable. I want to start a series, or you don't even have to do a series, but series are kind of big right now on Instagram. I want to make this relatable. My kid said blah 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 blah, and I want to relate it back to my business. In this scenario, what would you suggest? I guarantee you it will pop out 20 things and you're gonna go, why did I think of that?
Yes, I love that. Those were
Yeah.
great different tips and strategies. That was good. Thank
And
you.
it's your own spin, right? Because
Yeah,
your what happens in your life is going to be different than happens in mine or Tavia. It might be kind of like, the same thing, but in a different way.
right.
And that's the same thing with storytelling. Think of things that happen in your life that you can relate it back to somebody. And always think to yourself when you're in your stories or you're doing something else, always think like, would my ideal, like, what is in it for my ideal client? When you're talking about modules, those are hard sells, right? Modules, what are they going to be learning? But when you're like, what's in it for them? Like, why should they buy your course? It's the lifestyle, it's the symptoms, right? You don't go to the doctor and say, I have the flu. You go to the doctor and tell them how you're feeling and what's going on. And so you speak to those symptoms kind of, and also you want to ask yourself, would my ideal client say it like that? Make sure your content, especially when you're doing like a story kind of content, that it's like we're sitting down talking to each other. We're having a beer, we're having a cup of coffee, a margarita, or whatever that is. You know, have it conversational. Yeah. I I don't do anything without ChatGPT.
I just upgraded it today and I was sitting on it for like 6 hours.
Oh,
You know?
I love it. I
It
named
was
her
writing it
Lucy.
was writing my lead magnet for me that I shared
Oh,
with
yeah.
Amanda.
Yes. Yes. I named mine Lucy, but I have now nicknamed her Chatty. Like, come on, Chatty, let's go. What are you doing? And don't be afraid to tell her or him, whatever, that they're on the wrong path and that it needs to take a break and you'll be back. I
Yeah,
talk to
I
it
love
like it's my
Carter.
VA.
I love Carter. That's totally my VA.
Love
Sure.
it.
Yeah, Carter.
Love it.
That was good.
Yes. So, any more questions? If not, I've got to hop off. Do y'all have any questions for me?
Yeah, I need to just focus more on my engagement. That's where Instagram keeps on telling me that I don't engage enough. So do we engage in stories or in the DMs?
So, I mean, ideally, you want to get somebody into a direct message, but you do not want to cold message them. Please. If they
Oh no,
there's the
people come
second
to
thing you can
me.
take away from this.
People come to me and they're like, I think you need to do this, and they're always trying to sell me things, so I just don't want to do engagement anymore.
Well, you're going to have to go through all of that, but just tell them, say, hey, thanks so much. It's like the other day, let me just tell you what I said to someone that popped in to my messages. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to tell them, like, I'm not new at this. Thanks. Move on. Where did it go? This is hilarious. So it reached out, was cold message telling me that I have low engagement and that they've worked with these two people that I've never even heard of. And they wanted to show me a quick loom on how I can, be successful. So I very politely said, thanks for pointing out the obvious, but here's the deal. I've built a successful business despite what some call low engagement. Here's a tip. Cold messages like this don't land well. In fact, I teach my students to avoid them completely because they don't build trust or rapport. And then I just said, wishing you the best of luck in your adventure. Like, yeah. So it's all in your approach. You can ignore them, but don't let people like that stop you from engaging.
Okay. And then do you think 2025 is more for like talking reels now, like just talking?
Well, so what they're trying to do, I think, is incorporate some, right? TikTok was very heavy, like talking, 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 longer, long form, right? 3 minutes. And so I think they are encouraging people to talk more, but I don't think you need to do it more than once a week if you're not comfortable. I will say there is a girl that is faceless that is very successful. That what she does is she would like until you're comfortable, she will film herself like sitting at the computer, like it. So it's B-roll, but she's talking. So they hear her voice. It's almost like a voiceover. It's not a voiceover, but she talks to people and does a talking head without actually showing her face. It's that hearing your voice, people can feel they feel a connection.
Mhm.
They feel a human connection. So I would encourage you until you get comfortable, start in your stories, and then go move to a reel.
Yeah, I was stuck. I didn't want to post anymore. I wanted to come up with the content strategy, so I was focusing more now I'm focusing more on like growth mindsets, and then visualization and goal setting and success minded accounts so that I can, get ideas about content, their carousels. So that's what I'm getting ready for. And today also I was sharing with Miss Amanda, I was making my workbook. It was called like, are you stuck in your growth? And these are the 5-step guides to increase your, to overcome your growth barriers.
Perfect.
So, which I learned in DWA. I had other bigger courses, like not bigger courses, but like more the courses that I didn't know about DWA, like UBC and roadmap and all that. But
Oh, I have them all.
they're just too over my head. And so, but I'm able to get so much content from that. So that's what I'm just waiting. I want to be able to have at least 1 month of content so that I can, keep on rotating things before I
Perfect.
actually start posting.
Per so you're doing a lot of I'm gonna ask you. So you're doing a lot of research, like you're not even posting yet?
My last post was last week, but then I was getting burnt out and just feeling lost. So I said, I just
Right.
need to sit down. And this week I just took my time to take notes and just,
Perfect.
work on this guide so that I can put it as a CTA, like a freebie, instead
Okay.
of using the regular digital marketing free guide, whatever
Right.
that was given to me. So I wanted to make it more personable.
Okay. I'm gonna probably give you some unsolicited advice. And that's just coming from somebody that take it for what it's worth. I
Mhm.
would at least, while you're doing your research and you're doing your free guide and you're doing that type of stuff, I wouldn't disappear completely from social media. I would at least do one or two a week.
Mhm.
That way, Instagram doesn't think that you've completely like gone away. It's going to be a harder for you to come back to engagement if you completely disengage.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening with me because my reach was going up and then all of a sudden it falls back like 1,000 or 2,000 accounts
Yeah.
lower.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not saying that you have to start posting every day again. I just would encourage you to do at least one or two so
Mhm.
Instagram doesn't think you've disappeared.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Or stories or whatever you're comfortable. Because now here's what's happening. You were posting all the time, right? Or you were posting consistently. And you had some followers and they were following you and they were liking your stuff and watching your stories, and now you're gone. So they've moved on to somebody else. So we don't
Mhm.
want that to happen. So
Okay.
I hope that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I will just reintroduce myself. Like, this is what I was working on my ebook, and this is what I was working on
Yeah.
my masterclass,
It's
which
the
I took a
behind
little.
the scenes,
I was
right?
just going to
Even
say
if,
that.
Mhm.
yes,
I made a
it's the
video of
behind the
this a
scenes.
little bit.
Yes.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Of course. I didn't want you to think I was being rude. I was trying to, because that's not what I was meaning by any.
You're not because my other mentor, she's in Egypt and every day, you didn't post today. She's on my back every day.
Yeah.
You didn't post today.
Yeah. I mean, what would you think would happen if Target just didn't open their doors? They just, oh, we're going to do
No, go
some
to
research on a
Kohl's.
product and we'll
Kohl's.
be back.
Mm.
I don't know when. Where are those people going to go?
Yeah.
They're going
Walmart.
to go to Walmart
Yeah, Walmart. Yeah.
or they're going to go to Amazon. So just think of it that way. Like, I don't know how I just came up with that analogy,
That's
but
a
I
really
mean,
great analogy. That's a really great analogy.
businesses don't close their doors for research.
Mhm.
So,
All right, guys. Well, next week, I guess I will do a training on beacons and email marketing.
and Facebook, I want to hear all
Yeah.
your Facebook group strategies. I apologize that I
No, that's
took
okay.
over.
That's okay. I really go hard with that with all my mentees anyways.
Good.
Groups of the Facebook strategies. So yeah, next week I'll come at you guys with some email marketing, and maybe I'll be, enough put together enough to have a presentation like Kristen had tonight. Thank you so much. All of
Tonight
your
was not my best,
Oh my
but
gosh, you were amazing. And all the I just loved it. See, Tara said she loved it. Like this is great.
oh,
Great we need. Um,
thank you.
so I appreciate it. So guys,
Yay.
thank you guys for coming. I will have the replay so you can come back and look at it. And if that's it, I'm gonna sign off and I'll get this
All
uploaded to YouTube.
All right.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so much.
much.
Thank
It
you.
was nice meeting you.
Nice to meet y'all too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.